My name's Jimmy.
What's up, you guys? Jimmy here, back at you with another review for Teen Wolf Season 5. And this is the 4th episode, titled Condition Terminal. Overall, what I could say about this episode, I'd say this is another good episode. I mean, I couldn't really see any dislikes in this episode, but there are things I want to mention about this episode that I liked. Just like I said in last week's review, the fact that now Scott and the pack are aware of the Dread Doctors, which they finally get their names. Even though we all, a lot of us already knew, if not all of us, already knew of their names. So I thought that was a little interesting, and it kind of went into more of what they actually are. That they're sort of like chimeras, which in mythology are like different animals combined into one being. Which I was always one to call them hybrids, but a chimera makes a lot more sense. And plus, it's it's a name from mythology. So that was kind of interesting, and it kind of makes me come to the realization, maybe with these other two people that they have used, maybe there wasn't a true goal. They weren't supposed to do a certain thing. Maybe what they were tests, because these Dread Doctors are scientists. So maybe they're testing different supernatural beings and seeing what can become a more dominant than a werewolf or any of the other supernatural beings in Beacon Hills. Maybe. I mean, I'm just assuming that could be it, for the fact that they are doctors. Another thing I thought was really cool is the fact that it kind of showed that Kira kind of had lost a little control of her Kitsune side. So, yeah, it kind of shows that, she's still learning, and it kind of explains a little bit in some of the previews in the past that we've seen. So I thought that was very interesting, for the fact that, she hasn't been aware of her abilities as long as any of the other people. So I thought that made sense. And I also like the fact that they kind of went into more of what Parrish is, not telling us anything, but kind of bringing more of what his full abilities are, with his dream of taking bodies to the Mimiton. So, yeah. But hopefully, as the episodes go on in the season, we'll find out a little more and more of what Parrish truly is. Even though we all are probably right on him being a phoenix, because I mean, he's fireproof. He's immune to fire, and his eyes are a fiery color. So I mean, what other clues do we need to say, hey, he's confirmed to be a phoenix? But overall, I thought this was a very interesting episode. Kind of looking forward to next week's episode, since they are aware of the Dread Doctors themselves. And, one thing I was kind of surprised is the fact of Malia erasing off of Styles' board the stuff about her mother. So I thought that was interesting, because I would have thought that if she was going to change her mind about her mother, it would have been in last week's episode. But hey. But that's pretty much my overall thoughts. Like I said, always gonna look forward to the next new episode. And also, one thing I want to also mention, this episode would have been the perfect time to show that Theo has secrets. because I feel like it was rushed on showing that he really did have secrets. This would have been the perfect time to to show that. This would have been the perfect point. Just to make it more Theo seem more interesting to me as a character. But I'm kind of wondering what's his end game in all of this. I'm still wondering on that. But that's pretty much my overall thoughts on the episodes. Also, this past 4 days was San Diego Comic-Con. So, just want to ask you what your thoughts were on this year's Comic-Con. And what things did you like the most from this year's Comic-Con? Me, everything I really, really liked from this year's Comic-Con. I'd say this Comic-Con was like had the best of content, of news than what I've seen in the past. But if I were to narrow it down just to two, I guess I would narrow it down to Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice trailer and the Deadpool trailer. Because, I mean, who doesn't love your friendly neighborhood Merc with a mouth? Because this guy does. But let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this episode, and also your thoughts on this year's San Diego Comic-Con, even if you only watched it from the news sites. And also be on the lookout next month, and I will be doing reviews for Fear the Walking Dead, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Sunday nights to kind of take the time slot of The Walking Dead. But as always, my name is Jimmy, and until next time, bye.